Hear the hunger in my voice, they used to tell me to speak up. The problem was of what I was saying, they couldn't keep up. Instead of moving around with some patience, they tried to speed up. It got colder than a bitter bitch, found me a way to heat up. What's a favor for a favor if we all didn't make it? Kept it 100 with everybody, but they just gon' change. I ain't get caught up in the hype, cause I ain't feel like I made it. Couldn't picture me here now, but here's your moment to frame it. And I ain't never understand that self-entitlement spirit. I felt your vibe, I don't wanna get near it. Before I made the appearance, I took a second, took a look in the mirror. This God, Lord, the only thing that I fear. Y'all got me fucked up. It's all passion, it's tradition, it ain't fashion. It's no action, they make threats and it's still passing. I think massive, no respond, that's still tact. Y'all should quit rapping. Cheap shots, I'm cinematic. I ain't average, I'm an overthrow fanatic. How I go, you lose and win like asthmatic. I got first, that's automatic. I'm the best in my division. In the ghetto like the pigeons, in the hood like the engine. You a bird for that chicken. I don't fake split decisions cause my mind made up, nigga. We in the end of time, but my time ain't up, nigga. I was young and running wild and wide-eyed like a cabbage patch. I had to get it as vivid, adapted to my habitat. It's certain shit I won't do, certain shit you can't prove. My shit sound like a payday, yours like more when the rent. If I had $1 for every dime you counted, I would be broke. Watch it be close, got a better chance, boxing the goal. And they know I'm raw, and they know the spot, and I'm feeling large, still in charge. I don't make them follow, I follow the law. Standing tall like they here on Mars. I just got a call from my bro, he behind the wall, he told me let it off. Niggas lying for some cat, I got a different line in me. Everybody intimidated, I got that guy in me. You can focus on them dimes, I'd rather keep my nine with me. Help me get this off the ground, just know you won't fly with me now.
I try to make the news, I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gonna be the living. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home and truth, I ain't never had to choose.
I'm trying to get beamed up, man, y'all try to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gonna pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up, man, y'all try to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gonna pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up. When I do it carefully. You can lose everything you own over jealousy. When I met her, I ain't never sweat her, I just let her breathe. See you down, keep my foot on you, that's not my pedigree. At your throat, I done took an oath, I pray I never leave. I'm a different guy, your surprise tucked in my sleeve. Boy, you fucking stupid, soldier seek for some bloody bees. True nature, cut the conversation, better keep it brief.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you gone, it's your destiny.
All right, here we go. Oh, let me get this real quick. Hold on, give me 1 second. They're like, hurry up, nigga. You should have been had this done.
You know, the music's still playing too.
You said the music's still playing? Oh, no, it's probably like a little lag.
In my ear, it is.
Yeah, it's probably a little the lag. Like, cut the music off. Oh, man. Tuesday we get here quick as a mug, man. It's like we were just here for camp.
Right.
And we about to go to camp again.
It seemed like today was slow though, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't be doing nothing at work, so it'd be going.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't be doing nothing at work.
I wasn't doing nothing today. It's like they was just trash.
I'm gonna get my reparations. One way or the other. Yeah, one way or the other. I'm gonna get my reparations. I'm not gonna let them work me to death. Hey, what? Look, man. Some people they let them work them to death. Like, you know, I'm gonna let you work me to death. You know what I mean? But you know, just take it easy on me. Like, nah, man, no.
Nah, I definitely been there when you like put your all in.
Huh?
You know you live.
Yeah, I know I'm live. Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm definitely going. I'm not gonna let you work. You know what I mean? Let them work me to death at no slavery. You know what I mean? Like, you know, some people are just happy to be at work. You know what I mean? I'm not that happy.
Like, hey, how you doing? Living the dream.
Yeah, because like, you know, I come into work, man. You know what I'm saying? And like the dude I used to work with, he already in the truck, ready to go. Like man, it's 7:04, dog. We get to work at 7. It's 7:04, man. Don't hit me up until at least about like 7:50. You know what I mean? But yeah. So I want to welcome everybody to the ISUPK Brotherhood and Sisterhood class. Today, the class is about separation, man. Separation is brotherhood and sisterhood, right? And we're gonna go into that about that. I got a very, very good video to show y'all, man. I mean, this video was so crazy. Now, what I've been I guess like I was just, you know, a bunch of videos was just playing on my YouTube, just, you know, continuously playing. I was asleep or whatever. And I woke up on one. It was like they were talking about Caprini Green projects in Chicago. And they were kind of talking about how, you know, Good Times was loosely based off of Caprini Green projects. And they were showing, they had like a lot of, and I don't know if y'all remember, but it used to be like back in the 70s, back in the 70s, the early 80s, they had a lot of like specials that used to come on TV, where they would go and they would have actual footage of these places, like, you know, Caprini Green projects. They got a lot of footage chronicling the crack epidemic. You know, different stuff, like videos that are really out there to really show you what it was like in those times, like the heroin epidemic in Harlem. They got a lot of videos out there, like BBC, you know, did a lot of specials on them. They even had the one Black on Black Crime and the magazine. Remember the magazine? They actually had a special report that came on TV, and they would have these special reports, and some of them would be like 8-part series and different things like that. But once I watched that first one, the algorithm started sending me more, right? And it would send me like how white people feel about black people in Mississippi, or, you know, and I'm like, damn, I didn't know all these videos is out there. So it was this one in particular that I was watching, and I was like, well, this is what I'm going to make my class about, right? And it was more so, it was statistics at the time. Now, I believe this report was probably probably about the late 70s, early 80s. And it's about statistically how they actually went to the oppressor and asked them how they felt about black people, and then they went to black people and asked them what they felt about black people. Now, I mean, the oppressor. Now, the crazy thing about it is it showed a lot of stuff that I never knew. Like, I never knew that they actually really tried to have a separate state for black people. I never knew that. They were trying to have, like, it was like Kentucky, Florida, Tennessee. Like, it was like imagine like the bottom part of America, like the Confederate States. They was really trying to, I didn't know that they was actively trying to have black people have a nation inside of America at one time. You know what I mean? A lot of this stuff, and I saw the videos and I was like, wow, you know what I mean? So I can show y'all some of it today. I'm gonna go into it myself. So we're gonna talk about separation. You know, separation. Hold on, what happened to my damn? Hold on, Salagi. It's already acting crazy.
You can actually minimize that, and it'll give you that little tab.
Yeah, I like this because then I can see it when it start acting stupid. All right. Yeah. So, all right. So, let's see. Let's do the roll call real quick. All right. So, who we got in here, man? We got let me see. Okay. So the thing ain't working. Okay. Okay, so Alicia, Shalom, Shalom, Yahweh Shemar, shout out to you, Tamika Shanta, Masha Mar, Yaquat Maria Stevenson, Melanie Taylor, Masha Mar, let me see, Latalia Jeffries, Talia, Yanni, Yasser Allah, all right, Amawana, Banas, Yahawada, Trooper Tazawa, checking in. Shalom to you, Barak Mana, Princess Aitara in the building, Taja Rice, all right, in the building. Checking in from Louisville. And Tamira Hunter, Louisville. Yeah, it's not Louisville. It's not Louisville. Because look, if they got a what's that called? A First 48. Right. They be like Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah. So we're gonna get it on. All right. So separation. Now, should I play the videos first? Let me see. Should I play some of the videos first? Okay, yeah. I'll play some of the video first just to get y'all into it, to know what I'm talking about, and then I'll go into some scriptures or whatever. I want to play for y'all like the first, let's say maybe five or 6 minutes, and then we'll come right back, all right? So let me just bring it up. And I'm going to mute myself, and we're going to play the video.
Supposed dialogue going on between the races has become monologue. Say race relations to most white people, and they want to talk about riots. Say race relations to most black people, and they want to talk about discrimination or white racism. There are two great fears haunting this nation. White people fear something they call black extremism. Black people fear something they call white racism. The balance of this broadcast addresses itself to these two fears and to some common ground we found between the races. We're going to measure white racism first, black extremism second, and then we'll talk about some hopeful signs in the common ground. First, the extremes. First, the measure of what the black community fears most: opposition to equal rights for Negroes, prejudice, and racism, defined generally as an assumption of superiority and discrimination with overtones of hostility. Hal Walker discusses this extreme in the American mind.
We begin with white attitudes that underline the racial problem. The white of today is being asked to answer for history. This Midwestern housewife, like a lot of white Americans, does not think the Negro should present history's bill to her.
We hear so much about the slavery. 300 years ago, our grandfathers were slaves, or 200 years ago, our grandfathers were slaves. Well, for God's sakes, did we have anything to do with that? I had no part in it. I had no slaves. My folks didn't. My grandparents didn't. Are they blaming us for what happened 3 years ago? Let's forget the past. Think of the future. Build up the future. And why keep hemming and hawing over the same thing over and over and over again? And they say, you must give me land because my grandfather was a slave. Well, then I would say, for God's sakes, find the man who had your grandfather as a slave and then demand the land from him. Don't bother me because I had no part of it.
Few people would be willing to make amends for the actions of ancestors they never knew, for evils committed long before their time. So our survey is about people who are here today. Across the country, we asked whites whether the main reason Negroes had not made more progress was because of racial discrimination or because Negroes have not worked hard enough. This lawyer expressed a view we heard most often.
We find there is a reluctance upon the part of too many Negroes, particularly among the young, to take the hard and remunerative jobs that must be necessary to earn a living. There is a feeling that for some reason somebody owes them a living.
Just about half of whites in our survey said the Negro has not made more progress because he has not worked hard enough. Only 15% blames discrimination. Some had no opinion.
I feel that they're basically lazy. When this summer, for example, opportunity was given to them to better themselves in getting as many jobs as possible in various fields of retail, wholesale, and they don't take the full advantage of accepting the responsibility of going out for these jobs. They feel that they're not good enough for them.
About half of whites agreed with this woman that Negroes tend to be lazy more than whites. And this woman mentioned another charge against Negroes, that they have low morals.
Their sex problem, let's face it now, how many white people have 10 illegitimate children? Very few. Very few. This seems to be a trend with them. And I often wondered what happens to these here men who follow these children. Are they busy making babies elsewhere, or are they busy in the civil rights march yelling for their civil rights?
And 4 out of 10 whites in our survey agreed that Negroes more than whites have low moral standards. However, half or more of whites disagree with some of the views you have just heard. For example, they reject the idea that Negroes are more likely than whites to have low morals. But for the moment, we're concentrating on attitudes opposed to racial integration. In Chicago, we talked with a group of whites who call themselves lower middle class. They are worried about Negroes moving into their neighborhood.
And they are not responsible citizens. Until they live like we are, we don't want them.
I don't want to live with me, to tell you the truth. Whether they take care of it or not, I don't want to live with them. Because they ran away from them. And if I wanted to live with them, I wouldn't be paying high taxes like I am. I would have stayed where I was.
More than half of whites in our survey believe Negroes are more likely than whites to run down their own neighborhoods.
In the South, they throw the garbage out of the window and the pigs come and eat it. Here they throw the garbage out of the window and no pigs come and eat it.
In general, are Negroes as civilized as whites? 43% of whites said no, Negroes are not as civilized.
It's his image that he's building. They act like savages, like animals. They kill each other. They rape and they rob. There's a riot. Well, they wouldn't burn their own places. They had signs all over. Soul Brother. It made no difference. They robbed, raped, plundered, looted their own people.
What about the way Negroes care for their children? About 1/4 of whites say that Negroes are less likely than whites to take good care of their children.
The colored woman does not take care of her child, does not help to educate this child. There's no problem about it. They're ADC. The more children they can have, the more money they get to go out and play the lottery. They get more money to go out and drink a little more gin. But to take care of their children, put a pair of shoes on them. I blame the mother for not educating her child when they're born, from the day they're born till the day they grow up.
Lower intelligence. 1 out of 4 whites also believe Negro children are more likely to hold back the class.
When you were in school, your mother made sure you did your homework before you went out. A colored child, the mother and father don't care if they ever do their homework.
And I feel that this is why the white child is so much more superior to the colored. And not because the colored child doesn't want to learn. It's because there's nobody behind him pushing him.
Lower intelligence. About 1 white in 7 agrees that Negroes have lower intelligence at birth than whites.
We're not all created equal. And as far as intelligence, there is a little book called Breeding Down, and it says in there where the colored is born with an IQ, not born, but it develops, to 80 plus, and the white is 90 and up.
About half of whites polled said they do not think most fellow whites want the Negro to have equality.
They don't desire an education of our type. They have different music. They have a different way of dressing. They have different schools or different churches. Their religion is different. Everything is different.
Sympathetic to the Negro, 38% of whites said they do not think other whites are sympathetic to the problems of the Negro.
I don't want to help them. I don't want to help them. And I don't want them living next door to me for the simple reason that there might be a lot of nice ones, but I got 4 kids, and I don't want them growing up with colored next door to them. Because it's a proven fact. They grow up, they think nothing of each other, they play together. Pretty soon they're in their teens, they start dating, and pretty soon they're marrying. I don't want my kids marrying a colored person.
We have just heard the views of a small...
Okay, so I'm gonna play the... Yeah, I'm going to play what the black people say in 1 second, all right? I just want to get a couple of scriptures. But Now, the argument I'm trying to make is to show that have anything changed from then till now? You see what I'm saying? So so the case that I'm making is maybe not maybe, but we should have been separated. Go ahead.
Well,
Oh, you got the mic.
So like as far as with what they're saying, you know, everything that they're saying, no, nothing has changed. But the ability to say it, I don't think this is what they think. Like if we was to ask these people that are oppressed in the street these questions now, they would not say it like that.
Mm-hmm.
They would say all the good things. Oh no, I think we should all help. We should all be equal. But then back then, the reason why I think this was always going down is because they was always trying to find a way to fix segregation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And bring people together. You know what I mean? So back then, the president wasn't with that. You know what I mean? Even like they said, the lower class of presidents, those was the Italians.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they was not trying to, I ain't trying to have no color next to my daggone kid growing up my kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's the same if they be honest. Because the truth of the matter is, yes, it's the same. Yes, I do believe that they believe we just don't care. You know what I mean? That's why our hoods is all dirty and there's trash everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We just throw trash out. You know what I'm saying? We don't take care of our kids. We don't teach our kids anything about finances or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't care about how they do in school. We don't. Now, one thing they definitely can't say too much of because our families aren't busting out kids the way they used to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember you said your mother came from was your mother?
Yeah, my mom had 19. She had 9 brothers and 9 sisters.
9 brothers and 9 sisters. Like it was regular for a household to have at least 5 to 6 kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But now it's just like people care a little bit more about, I don't have the money to do it. But then you have dudes that do go out and they have kids by different women and so on and so forth. And women have 5 and 6 different baby daddies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think they can't deny the actual factuals, you know what I mean, as far as how the black community is. But now they're more accepting of it because of what happened during our civil rights movement and stuff like that.
Right. And now here we are, you know what I'm saying? And now here we are still singing that same song about, you know, us coming together. When we clearly see that we haven't made any progress in that. You know, we've pretty much just been talking for the last, you know, it's still segregated because I know when I go home to people that look like me and you, and they go home to people that look like them, right? The real only segregation that you really have is what? I mean, not segregation, but integration is when you go to the store. Well, not even really when you go to the store in your own, you know, neighborhoods, you pretty much don't have any, you know, integration there really pretty much because it's just somebody from another country that owns the store and all the black people go there. Right. But then like maybe when you go to the mall, you know, you might go around and there might be some integration there. But other than that, and then your job, that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? Your job and probably where you go spend your money. But after that, it's pretty much you just around people that look like yourself. Right. You know what I mean? But let me get a scripture real quick. Let me get Matthew 16:3. I'm gonna get there with you. Matthew 16:3. No sweat whenever you're ready.
All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 16 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And in the morning, it will be foul whether today.
Matter of fact, skip me up to 2, Salakia.
Right,
skip me up to 2 real quick. I'll make this point real quick.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16 and verse 2. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red.
Mm-hmm.
And in the morning, it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites! You can
Hold on 1 second. Slacky, I was just getting there with you real quick.
Come on.
All right. Start from 2 one more time. I'm gonna break it down.
Khan. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16 and verse 2.
Uh-huh.
He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say, it will be fair weather.
Meaning this, right? When you go out in the morning, you can look up at the sky, right? And you like, oh, it's gonna be cold out here today, right? Look at the way the sky, look at the way the clouds is looking. Look how red the sky is. Look like it's gonna probably snow today, or it looks like it's gonna do this today. Keep going.
Kanamakan, for the sky is red.
Mm-hmm.
And in the morning, it will be foul weather today.
Right. When you walk out in the morning, you step foot out that front door, you look up at the sky, you're like, oh, it's going to be a pretty cold day today, or it's going to rain today. Go ahead.
For the sky is red and lowering.
Mm-hmm.
O ye hypocrites,
mm-hmm.
ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times?
See that? We can't even discern the signs of the time.
Right.
Like that, for what, like we all, everybody, all blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we can discern the sky. It's going to rain today. We can tell that by just looking at the damn sky.
Right.
But for some reason, we just cannot discern the time that we're living in.
Right.
And what's going on. Even with bringing even with bringing out that video was just to show you that how things were and how they still are today.
Right.
And we just cannot discern the times. And it's just so crazy how, like we go out on the streets every week, we out there on them corners and we speaking to a people that cannot discern the time. Like they look at us as if, remember when we was at camp, this brother came up talking about why are we complaining about Joe Biden and Barack Obama. He was like, didn't you get your stimulus check? And I'm like, so we're supposed to be happy and shut up because we're getting a $200 check after they didn't took everything from you. They didn't remember, because I was talking about cotton. Right. How the black people don't even own the cotton industry. Every shirt, every pair of socks, every pair of underwear, every bra a sister puts on should come from black people. Right. Because at least we picked it for free for 400 years. It should at least be in our, in our thing. The East Indians, they got 7-Elevens and Dunkin' Donuts. You know what I'm saying? The Italians, they got the unions. Right. The Irish, they got the police departments. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has something that they run as a people. But when it comes to black people, we don't have anything that we own or run. The Africans, they run the damn bootleg. All the bootleg CDs, the bootleg sneaks, the bootleg Fendi purses, all of that. The Africans are running that. The Nigerians. Go up to New York, man. Go down to Canal Street. Go up to First Avenue, the garment district, and you're gonna see a bunch of Nigerian Africans down there selling those garments in that garment district. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then and just keep going. The Koreans, they own all the nail shops, all the beauty supply stores. Give me some more. The Chinese stores, the Japanese, the restaurants, everything that they own.
East Indians got the hair.
Yeah, East Indians got the hair, and the corner stores, and the Arabs got the liquor stores, right? The liquor stores, the gas stations, the hotels. You get my point? Like now, what do black people have? Right. What do we run? We could at least run cotton, right? But at the very least, that's what we should have, but we can't. We don't have it because of a thing called integration. Separation is brotherhood and sisterhood. That's what we should have been doing from the beginning. But because of Christianity, it has made us so bitch made. Christianity has literally it took the lifeblood out of black people. You know what I'm saying? Like now, I'm not talking about the early on Christians. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the ones that Captain Tazarak was bringing out. You know what I'm saying? Like those brothers like Nat Turner, who read the Bible and said, you know what? We ain't supposed to be like this. You know what I'm saying? We God's chosen people. It's supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Or the brothers who read the Bible that led the rebellion in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? Like those brothers who read and they knew, hey, wait a minute, we the Israelites, we supposed to be free. You know what I'm saying? Like, not those, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the brothers that look at the Bible that went to, theology school. Right. Them cats with all them degrees, them double masters and all of that, and they pastors that sit on top of America, they thought that they look at Christianity through the eyes of the oppressor. Right. And because of that, we haven't came to the realization that we should separate. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times people, and we're going to see in this video, like people think that it's actually not practical at all. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people, when it was actually presented, didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? When separation, matter of fact, I remember when you even brought it out, when you said, I believe you was talking about how like, you know, we should have just went and died, because at least we would have had dignity. At least we would have had, you know, something that could be respected. Nobody respects the people that just cower all the time. And you know, that scripture I always go to, lead not a beggar's life, for better it is to die than to beg, because that's literally what we do.
Right.
We beg for better education, better housing, better school, better places to live, better, you know, presidents, right? And that's what we do, right? Read it one more time.
Khan. Start from 2. Or not?
Verse 3.
Khan. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And in the morning, it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering.
Mm-hmm.
O ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? And
we haven't been able to do it. We failed. As a nation, we have failed to read the signs of the time. Right. When Barack Obama came in, people were so happy when Barack Obama. I remember hearing the stories about when ISUPK was down in DC. When they were down in DC and they were, you know, and the black people that were there were coming at the school. Right. Coming at the brothers who were out there that was telling brothers, hey, look, don't be, you know, taken by this. You know, the truth is that he's going to get in office and he's not going to do anything for black people. And black people came at the camp for that. And now they got to eat their words. You know what I'm saying? Because now the ghetto was still the same. The status quo was still the same. The power dynamic between us and the oppressor is still the same. Nothing ever changed. Right? All right, boom, drop that. So let's go to Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. Okay. And let's go to Ecclesiasticus 6 and 13. We're gonna knock this breakdown out.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6 and verse 13. Separate thyself from thine enemies.
Say it one more time.
Separate thyself from thine enemies.
See, that's the solution. The Bible got all the answers, but we choose not to listen to the answers. It literally says, say it one more time.
Separate thyself from thine enemies.
Now, you know what we've been trying to do is prove the Bible wrong.
Right.
That's all we try to do is prove the Bible wrong instead of actually, you know, letting the Bible prove us wrong.
Right.
Right? We try to prove the Bible wrong all day, every day. That's all you see on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube is just a bunch of black people trying to prove the Bible wrong. Well, how about we've been wrong this whole time and the Bible has been right the whole time?
Right.
And you know you see how simple that sounds? That's all we have to really take in our brain is that everything that we've done does not work. It doesn't work. Well, I mean, we tried everything as our will. We tried everything, and we still trying it to this day. Still trying it. Remember when we was out there, a bunch of people was graduating, a bunch of high school kids was graduating and coming into the world and you know, with new hopes and new dreams. But you know what the reality of it is that they're going to do the same thing that Martin Luther King in the 60s was doing. They think they got new ideas when they really don't. You know what I'm saying? They think that, you know, hey man, you know, we got everything that's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, the next new hottest thing that's gonna come out, and you don't, right? Remember what we said when we was out there? I was like, you know, I want to congratulate everybody out here because we was out there speaking in front of somebody's graduation. Some high school was up there graduating. And I'm like, yeah, I want to say congratulations to all the brothers and sisters, man, that graduating today. That wasn't an easy thing to do. You stayed down and now you graduated. But there is a part that you actually need. And that's what we're speaking right here on this corner. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give you that spirit, you know, that thing that you need to know that they can't teach you in school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we was out there, they was looking at us. I mean, we completely ruined the outside of the graduation.
Right.
You know how like when you outside, everybody talking. Yeah, man, we completely ruined that. It had to be it had to be a couple hundred people out there, maybe more than that, just walking and back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and that's what needed to be heard. You know what I'm saying? And said while we were out there. You know what I mean? Okay, so I believe Kwayashawan had a question. Okay, so Koyaswan had a question and said, Shalom, Lord of Christ, should we show other Israelite camps brotherhood, or are they considered as an enemy? Is there a scripture on this? All right. Could you give me that one, be at peace with all men? And then let me get that one. Hold on. So, let me see. I think I got it right here. Get it right now. How it sound?
If it's possible.
No, sir. Take your time. So you yeah. I mean, you know, at the same time, you know, you be at peace with who's ever at peace with you. Let me see. Yeah.
This is Romans chapter 12 and verse. This is Romans chapter 12 and verse 18.
Let me get there with you real quick.
Come on.
I just want to see something. Where was he at? Romans 12 and what?
12 and 18.
Okay. Okay.
All right. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Okay. Say that, read it one more time.
If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Right. So if it's possible, you get my point. Like but some brothers, they just want to be your enemy.
Right.
So you know, okay. Of course, if they want to be your enemy, then they're gonna have to be your enemy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're not Christians in here. You know what I'm saying? You know, but continually, brothers like to come at the truth. Brothers like to come at the school. So, of course, yes, they're going to be enemies of the truth because we're out there with the truth. And we're actually on the side of Christ when we go teach. So if you got brothers out there telling people that, you know, telling men, hey, you only can have one wife, or you could go, you know, telling brothers stuff that's contrary to the scriptures, then, of course, they're going to be enemies. They're going to be enemies, right? Enemies of Christ. And remember what Christ said, I come to set a man at variance, man at odds, right? Because that's the truth about Christ is going to offend people, and it's going to make you enemies. Remember what Christ said. He said, if you were of the world, then the world will love his own.
Right.
But because you're not of the world hateth you. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, those things are going to come. You know what I mean? Heresies, all types of things that's going to happen in the truth. The truth is not like, I used to think it was like that before I came into the truth. I thought that it was just all going to be, you know, one big, you know, melting pot, everybody together. But that's not it. Right. It's the same thing when you join a gang. When you join a gang, you think all the bloods, when you join a gang, you think all the bloods are together. No, it's different sets of bloods. You know, you think all the Crips are together? No, it's different sets of Crips that's beefing with each other. But at the same time, we're not going to go out and have no contention with the brother like off top. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to be at peace with a brother. But you cross that line, like it says, it is the scripture where it says, keep thy foot when you step into the house of the Lord. Like watch yourself when you come up. You know what I'm saying? So that's the point. Go ahead.
Slock, if I may, sir, I have another precept in right where we was just at in Ecclesiasticus chapter 6.
Go ahead, you got it.
Verse 17. It says, whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright, for as he is, so shall his neighbor be also.
Go ahead.
Like the scripture also says, how can two walk except they be agreed? Like if you, like you just said, if you're teaching a different doctrine, like if you're teaching things that go against what the scripture teaches, how can we be friends? How can we get along? How you are our enemy for the gospel's sake, for Christ's sake. You understand? And we can't get along. We can't be friends. It's like Commander Johnny Yohana just brought out about the whole purple guys. Like we can't be brothers. We can't be friends because their doctrine totally goes against Christ. You understand? So we can't walk and be friends with him. And he specifically asked about other camps. So no, we can't be jolly and buddy. No.
Right. It just is what it is. Go ahead.
I think it's in Galatians 4:8, but kind of go off what he's saying too. Is that scripture that you actually just read? You know what I mean? And 6:13, where it says, "Separate thyself from thine enemies, and take heed of thy friends." Like here in the UPK, we're taught that you have to prove your friend. You know what I mean? You have to prove who you can call a friend.
Right.
Like brothers can't just come up in here and all of a sudden you an officer. You know what I mean? Brothers can't just come up in here and all of a sudden you a captain. You know what I'm saying? You have to prove yourself worthy to be of that status.
Right.
And what we understand is that sometimes there's people that can't make it to that level because they can't shed themselves of the world. And like you said, the Most High is telling us that the world hates us. You know what I'm saying? And those who are of the world. So, like, unfortunately, some of these other camps, they care more about their pride. They care more about thinking they know something. They care more about their leaders, you know what I'm saying, than they do about the actual truth.
So to Kwayashwan's question, if we're out there and we see another Israelite group and they walk past us and they salute us, hey, shalom, you know what I mean? Shalom, look, shalom. All right, and keep it moving. I'm not gonna stop and then want to beat a brother up because we just in different schools. You get my point? Like, but if you don't got no problem with me, I ain't got no problem with you. And that's just that. Captain Tazariak, he talks to all different Israelite groups. Like he talks to brothers, you know what I mean, in different groups. He talks, you could be peaceable with brothers, you know what I'm saying? You just got different, you know what I mean, ideologies. But long as you don't disrespect me or cross the line with me, I won't cross the line with you. That's just that. You know what I mean? It ain't that hard. You know what I mean? All right, so let's keep going. Oh yeah, the 100 wives, man. It's crazy, man. And that'd be the thing too. Like, stop worrying about what other brothers is doing in their own crib. Like, if a brother want to have multiple wives, that's on him. Right. Who the hell cares? Like, niggas be worrying about the wrong thing. Like, I'm worrying about what the hell you doing in your crib. What the hell? What? It's like niggas want to try to regulate your bedroom and like, damn, man. Look, go to work. Get some work. You got too much time on your hands. You worrying about what other brothers is doing. Go, put some boots on and go to camp. All right? Damn. All right, no sweat. So let's get back into it. Brothers be on it.
They do, yeah, cut with cut.
You remember the brother that was at camp? I told him, I was like, man, I'm not talking to you right now. You go, boo this man. Remember I said that? I was like, boo this man. Yeah, boo that man. Boo that man. All right, let's get it. Let's get back into it, man. Separation, right? Now, should we separate? Yes, we should separate. We see that it's clear that we should be doing that, but we don't do it because we keep listening to the old ideas, and we don't want to have what the Bible is teaching us here. We just read it. It said, let's lock them back in. 6 and 13. Ecclesiasticus.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6 and verse 13. Separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed of thy friends. Separate thyself from thy enemies, man. We don't even know who our enemies are no more. We don't even know. They all around us too. Right. They didn't infiltrated the whole. They all around us now. Right. Remember before, at least we knew because we was in the black community, so we knew where they was at. Like, whoa, what you doing over here? Right. Somebody could catch you. Whoa. They would know if you came in the neighborhood. Everybody would know that you was already there. Right. As soon as you came in, they'd be like, oh, it's some white folks around the corner. We would automatically know. It was like we had like an alarm system. Right. You know what I'm saying? But now we don't even know. We completely surrounded by the enemy. Go ahead. Because they not like how they was in that video. Now they passive aggressive. Now they hide the fact that they don't like you. You know what I'm saying? And they walk around because they are afraid of us. They are definitely afraid of us. But what they don't want to do is talk about what they really feel about us. And I was in this to your point, right? I remember when I did the lecture, right, on psychology, right? This is what they'll say. Instead of them saying we don't like black people in our schools, this is what they'll say.
You sure you want to put them kids on a long bus ride like that? I mean, I'm just so concerned with their bus ride. I mean, they're going to be on the bus for an hour to come out here. Are you sure you want to put the kids on the bus that long?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's not really saying you don't want them to be in your school, so you switch it to say something else.
Right.
Like, well, I mean, they got to be on the bus. Look what time they're going to have to get up. They're going to have to get on the bus at 6 o'clock, and it might be rough on the parents because the parents going to have to drop them off at the bus stop so early. Then it's dark out there, and it's in the wintertime, and then sometimes it'd be too cold, and then you know what I mean? They start going to the things that are abstract without actually dealing with the situation at hand to look less racist. Right. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir, if I may. Like going back to what you just said about we don't even know who our enemies are now because of the integration in the what you call that?
Separation. Martin Luther King integration.
What you call that again? What movement was that again?
Civil rights
movement. Salaki, sir. I was watching a movie on TV. It was the very last Rambo movie they made. Mm-hmm. And he went into this he went into Mexico into this area, and instantly everybody alarms was raised because they knew this was an outsider. He don't belong here. And everybody was on the phone communicating with one another, and that just made me think like civil rights has really destroyed us as a people because we can't identify our enemy. Right.
And that is dangerous.
That was so heavy what you just said.
That's dangerous too.
Right.
And what we're about in the school is saving our lives.
Right.
Because we're actually really serious about our safety. Right. Because like without it, like a lot of people will look and I've been hearing about these other groups talking about niggas. Right? Talking about niggas so much. Oh man, we're not niggas. You're gonna see, I'm gonna play more of this video. You're gonna see when you ever hear like the oppressor say, there are some good ones. Yeah. Even that's disrespectful. But so why would you want to be one of the good ones? Well, I don't ever want to be one of the good ones. You know what I'm saying? Like we look at that brother with the tattoos on his face. A lot of these church folks, a lot of us, not us here in the school, not none of the sisters in the school, but a lot of black people, we look down on other black people because we like, look at him, he got tattoos on his face. Look at him, his pants hanging down. That brother with his pants hanging down is very kind. He's a very kind brother, right? Because even though he might have a tough persona, this brother is so lost that he doesn't even understand what kind of war that he's even in, that he doesn't even realize that he has to pull his pants up. You get my point? Like, he doesn't even understand. Like, think about what you know and what we know by being in the truth. We know where we're at war, right? These brothers on this corner, they don't even realize they're even in a war. They don't even realize the kind of war that they're in. They're not even ready. They're not even ready. So these brothers have their pants hanging halfway down. They don't even realize that the cop that comes in, the cop that's going to come in to work and patrol the area, he's going to look and say, I'm going to chase him today. Right. And that brother's going to run and probably get caught, shot, whatever. Why? Because his pants is falling down. Go ahead.
It's like he's going to club with one hand on his belt.
Right. He's running like this. That brother don't even know. That brother's kind, man. The sisters that's in the hood, man, fighting each other. Those sisters don't even know what they up against. They so lost and stuck in hatred between each other. They don't even realize what's up against them and what could really happen if this place really fell apart and got violent. You know what I'm saying? They're not even ready on no level. On no level. While our women are twerking, right, on social media, their kids are learning how to shoot. Right. They at the ranges learning how to shoot, learning how to cut, skin a whole deer and cut it up and eat it and be able to live off the land. Our women are twerking on social media. Right. Not even considering that the world leaders are about to go to World War III. You know what I'm saying? Like even with, and this is my last point on this, even with, I remember Commander Junior Hunter brought this out. Even when you had Where was the flooding at? The flooding at in Louisiana? Katrina, Hurricane Katrina. Do you know that it was people on the roof, black people that was on the roof, that still had their night clothes on? There was babies that still had their pajamas on. It's a storm. It's a Category 5 hurricane, and black people are still in their night clothes. No, nobody thought, hold on, we gotta get up. Yo, everybody get up, get dressed, you know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna possibly go down. But we don't even realize. And that's why the journal said it was brothers getting saved. People was getting saved, like older people, adults with their night clothes still on.
Right.
Go ahead.
So like it, because grandma was saying, just turn off all the lights. God is talking. You know?
Wait a minute, it's a Category 5 storm. Maybe we should all get dressed. You know, maybe we should all put our clothes on and put some sneaks and, you know what I mean, and get ready. You know what I mean? Maybe this house might blow over.
Right.
But because we're so lost, we don't even realize the danger that's really around us all the time. Go ahead.
Salakia, maybe they should have got out when they was told to get out, like
that too.
The oppressor got out when they said the storm is coming. They held up traffic for hours trying to get out, but yet we rather keep on watching the videos and sitting in the dark and making sure that the food in the refrigerator don't go get bad because grandmom said so. And
that's a testament to our situation too. That's a testament to our situation too, because a lot of people. There was people when they were getting saved, you know, in the water's up to their neck. They had a TV like this.
Damn.
They was walking through the water like this with a TV in the air, a flat screen. You know what I mean? And like this is right. This is the mindset. You know what I mean? Like black people are diamonds, man, diamonds in the rough. You know what I mean? Gold. All of that, jewels, the fine gold that the Lord talks about. We just got to understand that about ourselves. And then when we wake up, things will be a lot better off for us, man, once we realize that. Go ahead.
So like, I don't mean to keep
on. No, go ahead.
But the reason why they were staying behind is because they trust their oppressor.
Mm-hmm.
And for what happened was, it was so many times that the oppressor was saying was going to be a storm and nothing would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going to happen and nothing happened. So eventually they said, all right, well, then we're not going to trust the oppressor this time because he's saying that we need to leave. But he said we had to leave before and nothing happened. We lived through Bessie. Remember, that was the thing that they was all saying? We was able to live through Bessie. So since we can live through Bessie, we can weather this storm. And this was the worst storm that ever hit. And that's the problem with our people, man. Like you made the comment about how we're not even prepared. Well, I think that a lot of us, especially our leaders, you know what I mean, the Christian churches, they're afraid of separation. And the reason why they're afraid of separation is because they know that ain't going to do nothing but make the oppressor angry.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And they know that they are not equipped to go against this oppressor.
Right.
Instead of trusting in the Most High, they trust in man.
Right.
And they feel as though, well, since I can't grow nothing, I don't know how to do nothing. I don't know how to do nothing when it goes down and I'm put out in the wilderness. Then, hey, let's just make peace with them.
Right, because our destiny is wrapped up in their destiny.
Right.
So long as their future looks good, our future looks good, long as we're married to them. Like we want to be Miss America.
Nice.
You know, like we want. That's what we want to do. We want to marry the oppressor, the oppressor, and be Miss America.
Right.
And then so what? So if you're in a relationship where you know it's a bad relationship, a bad marriage that you're in, right? What is the person, the woman going to resort to?
Right.
Seduction, right? Because she's trying to win over this man that clearly is beating on her. Right? So what is she going to do? She's going to brush her hair, put her makeup on, and try to look more seductive so that we can seduce this oppressor into loving us, right? And then what happens? No matter how much weight we lose, they say, yeah, you lost too much weight. Can't you pull your pants up just a little bit more? Can't you pull your pants down? You got your pants are up too high. Can't you pull them down some? Don't forget those brothers that's in those damn lynching videos, those lynching photos. They had nice clothes on.
Right.
They wasn't with their pants hanging off their behind. They had suits on. Them sisters had dresses on. It wasn't like people were like, oh yeah, if we just dress better, then maybe we would be accepted better. No, it doesn't matter how you dress. All right. You had want to say something?
You had brought up something so heavy, Salagia, sir, because you reminded me when you started talking about the abusive husband.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And how much abuse did it take that woman for her to finally leave him? You know what I mean? And I watch a lot of documentaries, as you know, sir. And one thing that used to always happen is that abuse eventually gets to the kid. And then the kid then dies. And then now the woman then turns. Mm-hmm. So it's just like with us, as us being a woman, you know what I mean? It's going to take some harsh, like some harsh damage that's going to happen to us for us to finally realize that he is the devil the Bible speaks of.
Right. We can't wait for the day we could be Miss America. Whatever we want to do, we will do anything to become a Miss America. And this goes for the thugs. This goes for everybody. Because that's literally how we've lived our lives here in America. We're trying to seduce the oppressor into loving us and caring for us and treating us as equals and all this other kind of jive, you know what I mean, junk that we've been trying to kick for the last 60, 70 years, right? So all right, so I'm going to play some more of the video, right? And I'm going to get into black radicalism, all right? Here we go. I'm going to mute my mics.
White segregationists have maintained that what the Negro really wants is not integration, but separation. Most of us whites grew up with the assumption that anybody who talked that way would be regarded as anti-Negro. Not so anymore. Now, one measure of the gap between the races is the extent to which Negroes themselves have given up hope for integration and are turning to the concept of black nationalism and black separatism.
We're so busy caring about them.
Yeah, that's right.
People don't use the word black power. You scare white folk. How many times they call you nigger? You tell them not to use the word?
Yeah.
Some black militants, like Stokely Carmichael, former head of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, are urging Negroes to build their own separate politics and economics on black pride and black power within the black community. As for white America,
we must start to turn our backs on this country. We've got to turn our backs on this country.
Yeah, tell them how to do it.
This country has never cared about black people.
That's right.
They don't give two damns about us. And all of us always turn around worrying about what's good for America, what's good later for America, what's good for black people. That's what we want.
Yeah.
In every major city of the United States, we have seen violent protest and the fires of discontent. And we've heard ominous predictions of future armed rebellion and revolution.
We stand on the eve of a black revolution, brothers. Masses of our people are in the streets. They're fighting tit for tat, tooth for tooth, an eye for an eye and a life for a life. The rebellions that we see are merely dress rehearsals for the revolution that's to come. We better get ourselves some guns and prepare ourselves.
We are told to stop mourning Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., because his crusade for racial integration was out of date, even before his assassination. After his death, Floyd McKissick, head of the Congress of Racial Equality, warned that nonviolence as a philosophy is dead. Stokely Carmichael was quoted as saying, "America must be burned down in order for us to survive." Will it come to that in the end? The message of black nationalists and extremists is coming through loud and clear. It does not reflect much hope for a reconciliation of the races. But to what extent do Negroes actually support extremist doctrines? The premise of black separatist argument is that blacks must build their own society because whites do not want equality of the races and are not even sympathetic to Negro problems. But do most Negroes believe that premise? First, we ask Negroes, do you think most whites are sympathetic or not to the problems of Negroes?
They might be, and then again, they might not be because they don't act it. They don't act in no way to try to give us any kind of help.
The majority of Negroes agree with this woman. 59% say whites are not sympathetic to the problems of Negroes. Next, we asked, do you think that most whites in this country do or do not want complete equality for Negroes?
I doubt very seriously that a white person would want to accept me as an equal today. I mean, I have quite a few white friends that say they would accept me as an equal, but when it comes right down to it, I can ask one if he would accept me as a son-in-law or accept me as a neighbor on an equal basis. And I doubt very seriously if he could answer me truthfully and say yes and mean it.
The majority of Negroes, 67%, say whites do not want complete equality between the races. So it seems that most Negroes do agree with the contention of black separatists that whites are unsympathetic to Negro problems and do not want racial equality. It's difficult to see how this opinion could prevail without some feelings of resentment, anger, even hatred. But does this mean that the majority of Negroes are ready to turn their backs on white society and accept the doctrine of black separatism? Some blacks are demanding a separate nation for Negroes outside the United States. Others, like the leader of the African Nationalist Partition Party, the self-styled Chief Ogunche, want a nation for blacks carved out of this country.
The states that the party has selected, if you will, I can call your attention to the map here, is the 12 original Confederate states of this country. Essentially, we consider those people as living on their trespasses. They've been living there to a great extent through the benevolence of our people. So it is now that we feel that our people should take stock of situations as they are and analyze it and demand that these people remove themselves from that area in order that we might set up our government there. And of course, in final analysis, form our nation.
2 questions in our CBS News survey dealt with proposals for a separate nation for black Americans. We asked, is a separate country for black Americans outside the United States a good idea or not a good idea? An overwhelming majority of Negro Americans say a nation for blacks outside the United States is not a good idea, and only 5% approve. Well, what about a separate country for Negroes within the United States? This idea was opposed by about the same majority. 87% said no. Some typical comments.
84% of black people said they don't want a separate state out of the country or even in the country.
They said, well, hold on, it's like it. They said 84% outside, 87%
inside. Damn.
Salagia,
go ahead.
If I may, Salagia, I think the reason being is because they know that they don't trust being
around niggas. They don't trust being around niggas.
Because these niggas throw shit out the window and the pigs don't come clean it up.
So now you see it like the statistics from back then. Like, there's black people not even with that. They don't even like, even when they said, okay, outside of the country, okay, I can understand that because you don't know anything that's outside the country. But even in the country, you don't want 13 states? Nah. All right, let's get back into it.
Some disapproval.
A separate Negro company is out of a question. We all got to live here in this world, all of us. And it's impossible for this world to be separated. Impossible.
I think it's horrible. I think it's the worst thing that they can really set up. We're asking for equality. How can you have equality setting up a state of your own?
Hold on, did you hear that? She said we're fighting for equality, not separate, to be separate. So we would rather be equal instead of being separated. Give me, you know it's what I want. Give me Deuteronomy 7:6, goddammit. Yeah, because that's crazy. She said she would rather, we're trying to be equal instead of being separated. Go ahead, you can read it.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
And holy means to be separate.
That's right.
We can't be holy if we're trying to be equal. There's no equality in nature. You know what I'm saying? There's no equality in nature at all. You know, the eagle is not equal to the hawk. The hawk is not equal to the dove. The dove is not equal to the pigeon. Right. The pigeon is not equal to a damn turkey. A lot of people are turkeys, but but it's not equal. You get my point? And so there's no equality ever in history. There has never, ever been any equality. But why are we trying to do it now? Because we live under auspices of fake reality. And we don't live in reality. And if you look in a lot of the psych books, it'll tell you the normal person has a great perception of reality. So the abnormal person does not. So literally, psychologically, in the book, the psych book, Black people are abnormal people. We're strange people. Go ahead.
And one thing that always that's the scene that should be sticking out in my mind is how history has been taught to us. You know what I mean? How we were nothing until they came. You know what I mean? We don't know that we were kings. We don't know that we ruled. We don't know about us in Great Britain and from whence the Irish. Like we don't know that who we were in these places. We've been taught for all our lives that we are better off coming here. So that mentality that she has, she's thinking, oh, if I go over here, I'm not going to have anything because we don't know how to do anything. But yet we learn about places like Black Wall Street and Rosewood and places like that. And we see how when we were left to ourselves, how we actually grew. But then another side effect of that fear is that once we are starting to grow and starting to establish, they will get jealous and they'll come try to wipe us out anyway.
Right, because what we should have been focusing on is military structure. Right. We should have been focusing on how can we protect ourselves from us being enslaved again.
Right.
And we haven't even done that.
Never.
We haven't done that. So at this point, what's to stop it from happening again?
Right.
But the Lord.
That's right.
Go ahead.
So can we read that comment that Sister Rose when you was talking about Katrina?
What'd she say?
She was in Katrina.
Where we at?
That was a good comment right there.
Okay. Let me see. It says, Salakia, I was in Katrina. A lot of our parents, especially in the lower 9th ward, didn't have the money to get out. No money for hotels, right? No money for hotels, etc. No family in other states to even go to. No support system. A lot of us didn't want to stay and was terrified that we had to. And you're absolutely right about that. But what we're saying is the be prepared. Meaning that was the general's point what he brought out is that it was a lot of our people that's not prepared. And the point that we were making is how a lot of our people don't be prepared for the danger that's around. And then we should be more prepared, just think and I'll give you another example. When the power goes out in the Black neighborhood, right? When the power goes out, you hear people, did the power come back on yet? Right. Now, with all this money that we got for sneakers, don't nobody got a generator? Right. Nobody bought it. Nobody in this whole neighborhood bought a generator. Right. Did you hear any generators going off? No. And so you can cut the refrigerator back on and cut the lights back on. Everybody just sit in the dark.
Yep.
Until they cut the power back on.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we got to get ready. We got to be prepared for things. You know what I'm saying? Go spend you some money and get you a generator.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Get dressed when it's a storm. Right? If you know the Katrina's coming through, we can't leave. Well, at least let's get up and get dressed.
Right.
Let's put some clothes on. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's get some clothes on. Let's put our sneaks on. Let's sit up and let's get ready to wait this storm out. Now, of course, and like the sister said, which is a great point, we don't have the money to go nowhere. But at least let's be prepared. Let's not just sit around like we don't even give a damn.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, the storm's coming, but at least if I know the storm is coming and it's about to be a direct hit, then maybe I should go in and put some sneaks on. You know what I mean? Maybe we need to get Big Mama up.
Right.
And Big Mama need to, maybe put a dress on. Big Mama still got the slip on.
Right.
She's sitting up there in the living room watching the TV until it turn off. Right? Maybe we should, bunker down. Maybe we should put some boards up on these damn windows. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that our situation is in dire. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that we do have time to prepare ourselves with what little that we do have for the danger that's coming. Go ahead.
If I may, I can remember growing up, when we know that a hurricane is about to come, I can remember my mom and dad making me go and put masking tape on. I mean, not masking tape, but the duct tape on the windows, just in case the windows break, so it don't spatter everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The different things that we could prepare for, like we had brought a generator because we was getting snowstorms a lot. Down in South Delaware for a time there, and we had bought a generator and got made a special extension cord so it can plug right up into the electric box in the house, so we can have electric in the house.
And just to your point, you made me think of something too about being prepared. This whole thing is going to being prepared, right? The show should have. But look, being prepared, like. Get you some help, some life insurance. You know what I mean? We got insurance on our phones. We got insurance. We got Apple Care, right? We got Apple Care on our phones. We got what you say? We got insurance on our cars, insurance on our sinks, insurance on everything that we buy. I got a damn drone and got flyaway insurance. if the drone just if the drone just keep going, it just don't ever come back. I got insurance for that too. But what I'm saying is, then get some insurance on your life. Don't be having your people having to do a fish fry to bury you. You know, to come up with 10,000. The cheapest funeral you can get is $7,500, unless you just get straight up just straight up, just cremated. You know what I mean? But I think even just to get cremated, it's a couple thousand because you still gonna have to pay for the services, the embalming, not the embalming, but the pretty much like even when my stepfather passed, like he had a $10,000 policy and we used $7,500. And that was renting the flowers and everything. After the funeral was over, the lady came in and was like, okay. He's like, well, can you help me with those? I'm like, I ain't helping you pack up no goddamn flowers. She came in trying to get help. They took everything back. Well, you know what I mean? Good casket too. They take all that back. Next person gonna need that. But what I'm saying is, like, we got to start being prepared. You know what I'm saying? As a people, be prepared. When you on them corners, right? You on them corners, pull your pants up. Because you never know. Right, you never know when the cop's gonna come. That racist cop that comes into work that says, I'm going to chase him today. The dude with the tattoos on his face and his pants hanging around his ankles. I'm gonna get him. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta start to prepare ourselves, right? And these are the things that we would know if we were separated. But we don't know those things because we're integrated. Because we're so integrated into this system, we don't even have no idea of what it means to be prepared for danger. Right. You get my point? Like, we don't even know. The only thing we watching out is for niggas. More niggas. We watching out for each other. But we should be watching out for other things because there are other elements that are dangerous, like the storms, like the power. Like, remember when the power went out? You know how it gets real quiet when the power goes out in the neighborhood, right? It gets real quiet. You can hear people talking in other houses. Hey, did the power come back on yet? I don't know yet. Hold on, let me look outside. No, everybody's power is still off. You can hear them through the windows. People, and I remember when I was sitting in the dark, I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, you realize how you're not prepared when stuff like that happens. You know what I mean? Like even with brothers are doing in the school, like getting hydroponics things going, you know what I'm saying? Growing your food, learning how to, have you grow you a garden, different things like that. We've been on concrete so long that we've gotten spoiled in America. We've gotten spoiled here. And we don't even consider what? A deer, man, look. The only thing we've ever killed was bugs and mice. That's it. Brother, you ain't never killed no deer and skinned him and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't do that kind of stuff. But we need to start doing that stuff because we're going to have to learn these things. We're going to have to learn how to separate and be on our own and be self-sufficient. Because if we are separated, then we would have to handle these things on our own, right? We would have to have our own first responders, our own weather system, you know, where we would tell everybody about what to look out for and all the dangers that they were going to be up against. We're going to have to learn these things, right? It's not magically going to happen. Like what Christ said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. We're going to have to learn how to fend for ourselves and be separated and be holy, right? Let's get it. All right. All right. No sweat. So let's go back a little bit more back into it. Then I'm gonna get some. Matter of fact, let me get a scripture real quick. All right. Proverbs 14 and 12. Proverbs 14 and 12. Then I just got two more scriptures, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Proverbs 14 and 12.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
There is a way which seemeth right unto a man.
Right, because, you know, it seems right that we were integrated. It seems right that integration, that separation ain't the way to go. It seems right.
Right.
It seems, because look at all the wonderful things that we get by being, you know, underneath the oppressor. The oppressor has been our daddy in this place. He has fed us and took us under his wing, but he's been a bad father to us. You know what I'm saying? And we don't understand that part either. It's like that part that we refuse to face. The big, like we see that was actually happening, but we don't want to address this big pink elephant in the room. Right? So what do? Instead of saying, okay, this elephant is the reason and the source of all of our problems and the bane of our existence, we don't want to address that. So we start thinking of the abstract things it's not this big elephant that's in the room. It's our education ain't right. It's our housing ain't right. It's our jobs ain't right. Oh, we don't have enough diversity training. Oh, the police don't have enough training. Maybe we need to train the police a little bit more. We need to do this. We need to do that. But really our problem is right there in the room. You know what I mean? In the corner. He's big and he's pink. The big pink elephant right there. He make noise and everything. Right. But we don't want to address that pink elephant. We start saying, well, it got to be something else. Right. It got to be something else but this elephant.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this is why there is a way that seems right to us, and we've tried that way. We've tried Egyptology, right. Islam, Christianity. We've tried everything you can name of, Nawabianism. Right. We even tried going out to cults. we even tried everything instead of just following what the Lord said. Right. That's all we haven't did. We tried everything. We tried getting the stimulus checks. Right. We tried stimulating the economy. That don't work. Poor people never stimulate the economy, right? That money come in and they go right out. We tried to stimulating the economy. We tried building new projects that we can move into. That don't work. You know what I'm saying? Like everything we try fails. And the Lord shows us every time. Even when, remember, I was bringing it out again. Even when we vote for a president, the Lord will give us the president. He'll give him to you. You want Joe Biden so damn bad, the Lord will give him to you, just to show you that that's not what you really want.
Right.
Now you got to deal with your decision for 4 years, 4 long years, and you watch him give all the money away to everybody else but you. Right? That's what we gotta watch. The Lord sit back and say, look, they're gonna watch him give out billions of dollars to other people, but they just ain't got no money for you. Right? Oh, he'll give you a $1,200 check, but it's not like we got the $1,200 check and nobody else got the $1,200 check. Everybody got the check. Right. Even Chinese Americans got the check, right. the COVID check. It supposedly came from them.
Sorry for eating bags.
Right. They still got the COVID check. Both of them. You know what I'm saying? So let's it's brothers that still didn't get the second one. It's brothers that still didn't get the second one.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's some brothers that got the one took for child support.
Oh, God.
You didn't even get that one. You know what I'm saying? So let's not, you know what I'm saying, like think that where we see those little tiny little wins, like we actually got somewhere. That was what the brother was bringing out of camp. The brother who was trying to come against the camp, he coming up there talking about we should be happy because we got a $200 stimulus check.
Right.
Literally, the irony of that. And you know what I said too? That brother is actually proving our point of why Black people should run this planet.
Yeah.
Because because even though we're on the bottom and we're full out in our and exploited, we still find a way to love everybody.
Right.
And this is why we should be in the position of running this place, running America, running the whole world, because there's no more greater people than the 12 tribes.
Right.
There's no, you look on the 12 tribes, they're the most kindest people, the most loving people, the most ingenuitive type people, and they're just the most kindest people ever on the planet. You know what I mean? And that's the whole 12 tribes. All right, so let me get a little bit more on it. All right, go ahead.
But the end thereof are the ways of death.
And that's what happens every time. Because every time it might seem right to you, but you die every time. You know, a rat, it might seem right for him to go to get that peanut butter. It just so happens it's in the middle of some glue. You know what I'm saying? He see that cheese too. He like, well, damn, it's right there. it seemed right. It's right there.
Right.
The mouse, he all on your bed at night. He on your bed. He all in the closet, but trying to look for food. But he just happened to see some cheese just sitting there.
Right.
Or he just happened to see some peanut butter.
Right.
And he like, damn, I've been crawling all on their pillows. I've been crawling all on the top of the clothes, in the pockets, everything.
Right here.
All in their bags of chips. I remember one time I had a bag. I had a loaf of bread on the top of the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Right? So I didn't think nothing of it. I grabbed the loaf of bread and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make a sandwich. I'm ready to make this sandwich too. I think we went to the grocery store, had some lunch meat, everything. So I'm like, lunch meat, bow, pull the mayonnaise out, pull the pickles out, pull the spinach out. I'm ready to get it on, right? So I'm like taking the, you know how you like, you count out a couple of pieces. I count out a couple of pieces. It's a hole. The mouse ate a hole and tunneled up to the last 4 pieces of bread where I was gonna make. I was gonna make, you know what I mean? I got to the 4 pieces of bread behind the hill, you know what I mean? Behind the hill. I got to the 4, I pulled it down and I saw the wall. I saw the wall, man, you know what I'm saying? So so it is a way that seems right to a man, right? But the end thereof is the ways of death, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Man. Yo, he tunneled through the bread. I was like, oh man, this is ridiculous, man. All right, Paraj, I see you checking in from Augusta. I thought you was already up here. I thought you was in Camden. Oh man, I was so mad, man. I was tight. Oh man, that's crazy. That mouse man is shipping, man.
I said I saved something for you.
Yeah. Do you remember when that happened? It was like a hole all the way up to the front. I said, man, this is crazy. But all right, so let's get some more into it. I'm gonna bring some more out on the.
Shout out to the 46 people.
Yeah, 46 people in here. All right, so I'm gonna put some more. Oh, hey, see, look, now you yawning, man. Come on now.
No.
All right, All right, so let's get it. We're gonna get some more into it. I'm gonna play some more for y'all right now. I'm about to go on mute, and then I'm gonna play this last part, and then I'm gonna hit 2 scriptures, and then we're gonna be out of here. But y'all stay tuned, all right? Don't go nowhere. All right, let's get it.
I feel that we will lose more by separating than we
states. This idea was opposed by about the same majority. 87% said no. Some typical comments of disapproval.
A separate Negro company is out of a question. We all got to live here in this world, all of us. And it's impossible for this world to be separated. Impossible.
I think it's horrible. I think it's the worst thing that they can really set up. We're asking for equality. How can you have equality setting up a state of your own?
I feel that we will lose more by separating than we will if we plan for total integration or if we fight for total integration. I don't believe in the separated states, no.
The 6% of Negro adults in the nationwide CBS News survey who favored a black state either in or outside of the United States translates into more than 700,000 Negroes. In a campaign to change minds, 700,000 people who are so alienated by our society as to want to leave it can exercise a force which must be reckoned with. Still, the great majority of the nation's 22 million Negroes now are opposed to the idea of a separate black nation. But do they support the militant concept of complete political and economic control by Negroes of black communities within our society? Do they agree, for example, with the statement of the Reverend Albert B. Cleage, Jr. of Detroit, who told us what blacks want?
He wants control of black communities. That's why the word black power is meaningful to black people and frightening to white people. Black power means the power to control your own destiny. That's what black people want. They want to control the community, the economics of the community, the politics of the community. We're tired of having white representation, represent us downtown in city government. We're tired of having white merchants take care of our business. We're tired of having white teachers in our schools, white principals, white administrators. We want all of this to be black.
Are you in favor of black control of black communities? Our CBS News survey put that question to a cross-section of American Negroes nationwide. The answer, about half of black Americans say they are not in favor of black control of black communities. 22% of American Negroes support this idea. Why do the majority of Negroes oppose it?
What we're concerned with is proper representation. And if a white man is able to better represent a Negro or a black man, then this is the person we should have to represent us. If a black man is the best representative we have for not only the blacks, but for the whites or for any other ethnic group, then this is the man that we should have.
What I feel is this: I can work with any white man can work with me if he respects me and I respect him. Now, for example, what I'd like for my people to have is not black control, but power in their community to do the things that are right, to do the things that are necessary to see that their children get a basic education. Now, you take that suit you have on, no black man produced that suit. You take the shoes you wear, no black man produced that. You take that tie you have, no black man produced that. What we must do is become producers. And then when we become producers, we will have power. What I would like to see is in the black communities, that there be white and black ownership or black and white ownership. And together we work to make the funds that are necessary to give us the community, the schools, the churches, the homes that we need.
The results of our CBS News survey on the question of black control of black communities are corroborated by the recent survey of the President's Commission on Civil Disorders. The commission found that both in their personal lives and in issues concerning public institutions, the majority of Negroes polled in 15 major cities oppose racial exclusiveness. For example, only 1 Negro out of 5 said stores in a black neighborhood should be exclusively owned and run by Negroes. Only 1 in 7 believed that schools with mostly Negro children should have a Negro principal. And only 1 in 7 said he preferred to live in all Negro or mostly Negro communities. The indication of the polls is that the majority of Negroes are more interested in integration and equality than in separation of the races. The question is, how far will they go to achieve their objective, and whom will they follow? Our CBS News survey listed the names of 11 Negro spokesmen who have been called leaders of Black America.
Charity that is going to meet the needs of that unemployed person. The only thing that is going to meet it, in fact, is the availability of a job that offers the kind of mobility and incentive that is going to give that person a chance to become productive and to know that he can move up this vertical ladder of ours in this great affluent nation of the United States.
Mayor Stokes is generally regarded as a moderate. He favors integration, opposes violence. 12% of American Negroes say he reflects their views. Roy Wilkins, executive director of the NAACP, the biggest and the oldest of civil rights groups.
You can elect the kind of government, and of course everybody says, oh, voting is old hat, legislation is old hat. I don't know what is new hat except revolution. Now, if revolution is what you want, as Samuel Goldwyn said, include me out.
Wilkins and the NAACP have worked for legislation to end discrimination, to integrate the Negro fully. Wilkins, out of 10 Negroes say that they've heard of him, but only 6 Negro spokesmen have the least support. For example, Stokely Carmichael, an advocate of black power and black separatism. 8 out of 10 Negroes say that they've heard of him, but only 6% say they approve of his ideas.
Okay, so Stokely Carmichael is in the world, right, and he got 6%. So you know what our approval rating is. Oh, negative 20. Yeah, he in the world. You know what I mean? He in the world. He doing whatever the hell he want. So even in the world, somebody that's radical got a 6% approval rating, and he got 6%. Check this out.
Another example, H. Rap Brown, also a black separatist. He has preached hatred of whites and urged violence as a weapon of protest. 7 out of 10 Negroes say they have heard of Brown, but only 5% say they approve of his views.
Yo, he's a separatist. He like, yo, we need to get away. We need to do this. 5% approval. Wow. Among black people. So that means 95% of black people want integration. Right. Yeah, I'm unmuted. Only 5% of black people. So that tells you what our rating is. Right. Our rating is gotta be lower than that, because he's in the world still. He don't have the truth. He don't have nothing. He just want to fight for black people. Right. And he still got an approval rating of 5%. Go ahead.
It's like, and we out here saying that the Most High is a separatist. Mm-hmm. The God that you serve and the God that you're supposed to believe in is a separatist. So of course we got to be like
less than 1%. Less than 1%.
We got to be way low. Because now we're saying you have to be a separatist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Here, let's go. Let's get some more back into it. Let's get into it.
It may be fair to conclude that black extremists and separatists have received more attention from the news media than their strength in the Negro community commands. The question remains, just how militant out of 10 Negroes say they have heard of Brown, but only 5% say they approve of his views. It may be fair to conclude that black extremists and separatists have received more attention from the news media than their strength in the Negro community commands. The question remains, just how militant are the majority of Negroes? What tactics will they support to end discrimination and achieve integration? Our CBS News survey questioned Negroes about the tactics of peaceful demonstrations and boycotts. A large majority of Negroes say they would participate in these activities. About 2/3 would participate in peaceful demonstrations and in boycotting stores. We asked about the tactics of picketing. Almost half of Black America says it would participate in picketing stores and businesses. Finally, we asked a cross-section of American Negroes, would you be willing to participate in a demonstration that might lead to violence? The answer, only 1 out of 33 American Negroes say they would participate in a demonstration that might lead to violence.
1 out of 33 said that they would participate in something that could possibly lead to violence. We go out on the streets every week. That shows you, and I'm just saying, like, just from the truth perspective, that just shows you, like, just their brothers just ain't cut out to do this kind of work. You're just not cut out for it. Like even in the world, 1 out of 33 said that they would do anything that could lead to violence. So we literally are like the minority, 100 times over. Go ahead.
So, like, was it saying that the way he said it, where he said we giving them more attention than what it demands?
No, he said we give them more attention than the power that they actually have in the Black community.
So by giving them attention, we're actually giving them more power than they actually.
Yes.
And I think that's why you don't see Commander General Yohana on mainstream media.
Mm-hmm.
Because by doing that, you know what I mean, they fear that he will actually reach more than what he has already reached. And
this is why, like, it goes back to, and I know brothers, you like yourself brought it out at camp, it goes back to like the Kanye Wests and the Ice Cubes and, the brothers who get up on that next level. Mm-hmm. It's like, if you give any light to anything that we deem as like an extremist or anything like that, we will cancel you, shut you down, and you will have career suicide. Right. So play with us if you want, and post like you think that you're free, then we will shut you down. We'll take all these Kyrie Irvings off the damn rack and we'll sell them for $50. And that's what he did. Remember, I put it up on social media. I put it up on Facebook. I was in the sneaker store. All the Kyrie Irvings was $59.99. Every last one of them was $59.99. Even the new ones was $59.99. That's like the cheap. You go to Foot Locker, that's like the cheapest sneak in there. Yeah. Like $59.99. Like, you're gonna get the ugly shoes for $50. They're gonna be the shoes is purple, pink, orange, yellow, green. Nobody wear. You know what I'm saying? We can win if they believed and knew that we are absolutely promised to win. We see these ratings come through the touch, and we somebody give me enemy of your enemies. The scriptures say it right here, and that's what the whole basis of the class was talking about. It was just saying that we can do it if we have the Lord in us. Like, okay, think about it, right? How many Christians are on the earth right now? I mean, how many Black Christians are in America right now who read the Bible? How many Black Christians are in America? Let's see. Original Black Americans. Somebody posted in the chat if you got it.
What was that, sir?
What is the percentage of Black Christians in America? How many are there? Okay, hold on. Let me try that again. How many Black Christians are in America? Okay. I seen one came up from 2020. Y'all let me know in the chat. If y'all find it. Salaki, I'm trying to find it. No, yeah, let me get that. No, I will be an enemy to your. I will be an enemy to.
Sir, you want Exodus 23:22.
Yeah, 23 and 22. Exodus 23 and 22. Let me get that.
I'm trying to. I don't know why I didn't click it.
No sweat. Take your time. No sweat. We'll read it. You know what I'm saying? We can read it.
Sir.
23 and 22. Okay. Yeah, I got it right here.
It won't let me go to the Bluetooth. All
right. So start at if you could, Zarwar, start at Exodus 23 and 20.
Okay. No, Khan, it's the book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 20. 22 and verse 20. You said 23 and 20?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Exodus chapter 23 and verse 20. Behold, I sent an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared.
Right. The Lord sends out his angels to protect us, man. You know what I'm saying? Like even when you had wanted to say something? Okay, because even percentage. What was it? Okay.
And Black Demographics of America says that 87% of Black Americans are Christians.
87%.
It breaks down. It gives a little bit more details of how the 87 is made up of, like, who's Baptist, who's this, who's
right.
that.
If we all listen to the truth or listen to these brothers that's on the corner every week, right? We would have 87% of Black people that would understand.
Right.
Go ahead.
And it just so happened to be 87% that was disapproving of being separate.
Exactly. Yeah, 87%. The same 87%. If that same 87% got themselves together, right, and listened instead of turning your nose up at the brothers that's on the corner trying to wake our people up, right, that go out there against the status quo, right, of America, and go out there and put our lives on the line instead of turning your nose up and thinking that you know something, then humble yourself.
Right.
A lot of cats say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yeah, you can. You can teach an old dog new tricks. There's a man. Let me give some honor, man, to Officer Yawash, man.
That's right.
Officer Yawash, man. You know what I mean? Officer Yawash, he just passed away, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He just passed away. He was in his 70s. You know what I'm saying? When he came in the truth, he was in his 60s.
Right.
You can learn new tricks, man.
That's right.
That whole you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's just some regurgitated nonsense that we heard on TV.
Right.
You can teach an old dog new tricks. You know what it is? You got to humble yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To something that's greater than yourself. But we got too many big head Negroes who think they know every goddamn thing. And because you think you know every damn thing, this is why we stay in the mess that we're in.
Right.
You gotta, like, I know now, right? You want to get rich now, you gotta listen to the younger cats. The old niggas, that's the old way of getting rich.
Right.
You want to learn how to get rich, you gotta listen to the 20-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? That's how older people are stronger, by listening to younger people. You get my point? And then they're stronger. I think, who was it that brought that out? KRS-One. And then older people get smarter by listening to younger people. And when they listen to younger people, they get stronger amongst the older people. Right. It's the same thing. And young people get stronger by listening to older people. And it just goes back and forth. It just bounces off each other. But my point is to say is that these Christians, they've seen the Israelites. They see it.
Right.
Come on, man. Everybody's seen the Israelites. And if you haven't seen it, you've heard about it on TV. You've seen all the celebrities getting canceled. You've seen it. The Lord has put this truth in front of everybody on this earth, man. Everybody. The Lord has put it somewhere. And you might might not have been looking for it, but you've seen it somewhere. And you've seen it, you've heard about it somewhere, but you refuse to learn. Most of our people continue to be not just continue to be like they're not really putting forth an effort. Our people put forth an effort to stay ignorant.
Right.
Literally, think about it, right? How much are those iPhones?
$400 to $1,000.
$1,000. How much is the new one? The iPhone, what? 13, 15?
Got to be over a stack.
A stack. $1,000. Only thing you look at on there is twerk videos. Twerk videos, Instagram and TikTok.
Right.
That's in Facebook. That's the only thing you do on it. You got a $1,500 phone that you don't do nothing smart on.
Nothing.
You ain't getting no emails. I mean, you ain't getting no faxes. You ain't setting up no meetings. You ain't doing nothing. You literally just got it because the screen is clear.
Right.
And you just taking a ton of pictures of your food. Go ahead.
No, that's all I was about to say. They got a better camera for you to take pictures of your food.
Right. That's all it is. You just posting food all day.
Right.
You ain't learning nothing on your phone.
Right.
Right. And the reason that with 87% of Black people that are Christians that's reading the same Bible that we're reading, They're choosing to be ignorant,
Right.
choosing to stay in this mess. What the Lord say would happen for us? You know what I'm saying? For the brother that said that our people are scared. Go ahead. What was it? Exodus 23 and 20. Let's start there. And let's read it down real quick for the brother, and then I'm gonna keep it moving.
Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice.
Right, that's the Most High, right? Keep going.
And do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary unto thine
adversary.
I'm sorry, adversary. I always do that. Adversary unto thine adversary.
Right, the Lord, remember, we got to understand what we have here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have the Lord on our side.
Right.
So if you got the Lord on your side, then there's no reason for you to be afraid.
Right.
You got angels in front of you. You got angels all around you. But we don't, like, we believe it up to a certain point.
Right.
Until it's like, well, I got my numbers. If my numbers ain't right, then, you know what I mean, I ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember, camp used to be 2x2s. They ain't never used to be 1,500 people out there at camp. It used to be two brothers. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it was. Because remember, we don't put our trust in numbers.
Right.
We put our trust in the Lord.
That's right.
Right. When Gideon went to war, he went to war with 300 people.
Right.
When the Maccabees went to war, they didn't go. They went up against the Greek army.
Right.
You get my point? Like, you think the Lord can't deliver us out of America?
Right.
He can't get 300, 400, 1,000 brothers to go up against America.
Right.
With the power of the Most High. You know, we think because they got guns and they have nuclear weapons and they have this, but all the Lord got to do is send another bug.
Right.
COVID shut the whole planet down.
Right.
It wasn't nothing moving when COVID was around.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know what the Lord did when COVID was out? He showed us that the oppressor is just a man. That's all he is. He ain't nothing to be so revered. He's just a man. Didn't the president have on a mask?
Didn't he catch it?
That's
right.
What I'm about to say.
Didn't he catch it? All of us had. Everybody had he had a mask on too.
Right.
Didn't his whole cabinet had mask on?
Right.
That's what we got to understand. Like, we got to stop thinking like, oh well, see, because look all his guns. Yeah, you know, we might have to, some of us might have to die. But but the main thing is we want to understand is that we have to start putting our trust in the Most High.
That's right.
And the Lord will be say that one more time. Thou shalt indeed obey his voice and all that commits. Then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies.
Right.
The Lord will be an enemy. You look. How can you ride tanks if it's 1 million frogs? You know what I mean? All over all the equipment.
Right.
It's 2 million of those locusts.
Right.
Over everything. Go ahead.
How can you drop a bomb in complete darkness?
Right. You can't see nothing. The electric don't work.
Right.
You get my boy? Like we think that the oppressor is so strong that he's just stronger than the Most High.
Right.
The Lord could cut all that electricity. None of that stuff will work.
Nothing.
It would be like, oh, damn.
The button.
Nothing working. You get my point? Like, we gotta start taking that spirit back, man, and understanding that our power is in the Most High, and everything that we do is from the Lord.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And you know, a lot of times, yeah, we get afraid, but the Lord didn't give us the spirit of fear. Grab me that one. You know it's one I want, right? Hold on, I'll find it for you. Oh man, I gotta go, man. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. The spirit of fear. Hold on. The Lord has not given us a spirit of fear, KJV. It is 2 Timothy 1:7. All right, we're gonna go there and then I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I had like another scripture, but yeah.
Oh God, it's the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 1 and verse 7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
Right. The Lord didn't give us the spirit of fear. And that's what we got. And these brothers that we go out to camp every week, man, these brothers do not have the spirit of fear, man.
That's right.
We just go. We just do it. We be in Trenton, man. You know the block we be on in Trenton, there be niggas across the street hustling, right? They just be like, oh, man, Israelites go. You know what I mean? But we be out there still doing what we do.
That's right.
We don't go out there with the spirit of fear. We go out there to say, okay, we know the angels is with us, the Lord is with us, and that's just that. You know what I mean? And we just rock like that. Of course, you know, you might not make it back, but that's the life that we chose. We chose to give up our Saturdays and go to camp for the rest of our lives. That's it. Ain't nothing else you can do about it. You don't want to do that, then just don't get into the truth. You know, just come to class and just be a student. Don't ever try to go up. You know what I'm saying? But if you ever want to be in this work and be a priest and prophet of the Lord, then you just work you're going to have to do. You're going to have to give up those Saturdays. You're going to have to go out to those camps. You're going to have to see those brothers with those screwed up faces. And you're going to have to make your face screwed up too.
Right.
That's just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Let me get one more before I get out of here. I know Isaiah War is yawning. Let me get Wisdom of Solomon 15 and 12. Wisdom of Solomon 15 and 12. That'll get right. You're right. You're right, Melanie. The Most High controls everything, and that's really all. I was just trying to bring out this class is about separation.
Right.
We see that in this study that they did with all the statistics that they had. We wasn't about separation, but that's what we need to be about now. We need to be about it now. So on Christmas, don't call your mom.
Right.
Don't wish her a Merry Christmas.
That's right.
Don't buy those stinking chocolates on Valentine's Day. We got coming up next. I think what's 4th of July. Don't buy $500 worth of fireworks.
Father's Day. They know Father's Day.
Yeah, it ain't no real Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Yeah.
Father's Day is for the single mothers.
Yeah, that's for single mothers. Don't go out and buy $1,000 worth of fireworks for 4th of July, celebrating the independence of the people that took yours.
Good night.
Don't do that. Don't go out to Christmas. Don't celebrate Christmas. That's separating your spirit. Because what we give our spirit to, that's what we empower.
Right.
So long as we start to empower ourselves, then we can start to empower the nation as a whole. Right? Let me get that last one, and I'm out of here.
It's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15 and verse 12.
Uh-huh.
But they counted our life a pastime.
That's what they do. You said you in this whole documentary, they hate niggas. Mm-hmm. They hate blacks, they hate Hispanics, they hate everybody. Right? But guess what? They counted our what? Our what?
They counted our life a pastime.
That's what it is, man. It's a pastime. What's the America's national pastime? Baseball, football, basketball. You know what I mean? That's what our life is considered. Entertainment. That's what a pastime is. Something that helps you pass the time. And that's all these nations look at us as is entertainment. Something to just pass the time away because life is so damn boring. But if we can have a 6'8" dude dunking the ball and jumping over everybody, then that'll help us pass a little bit of time to get us, over the rest of the weekend. Right? Keep going.
And our time here, a market for gain.
And that's all it is, man. Everybody hates the Mexicans until Cinco de Mayo. It's all a pass. Now everybody want to get some tequila.
Right.
Now everybody want to get tequila. Everybody love the Mexicans on Cinco de Mayo. But after Cinco de Mayo, it's like the hell with the Mexicans. Right? We got to understand that that's what we are in America is a pastime. And until we change that, we're going to continue to be a pastime. And our lives are going to be counted for what?
A pastime.
Uh-huh.
And our time here, a market for gain.
That's what it's going to be. Any more on that?
For say they, we must be getting every way.
Uh-huh.
Though it be by evil means.
Right. So they like, man, we getting it. We getting it out here. Right? That's where you get your bad deals from. All your recording artists, they get a bad deal. Don't matter. We must be getting every single way. Every way that we can figure out a way to make some money off of this people, we're going to exploit it and we're going to do it. And guess what? After that, it doesn't matter because even if it's meant by evil contracts or, ill-gotten gains or whatever way we choose to do it, it's going to happen because our lives in America are counted for a pastime. And the only way we're going to change that if we have separation, because separation is brotherhood and sisterhood. And without that, man, this integration, that's not brotherhood or sisterhood. That's a coon ideology. And with that being said, I'm going to turn the class over to Precinct Officer Mataji Allah. All right. Most sign Christ.
ISUPK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and show themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, reads 10th in Hebrew, Ma'ashra. That's 10% every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest funds, free will offer for the priest. It's not mandatory. What amount you like to donate? Upcoming holy convocations, we have the memorial blowing the trumpets. I think that's September 15th.
Okay.
It's on a Friday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Check me on that. I think it's but it's the memorial blowing the trumpets. You can read more about it in Leviticus chapter 23. And that's going to be held where? So.
Oh, down there, everyone.
It will be held down in the Smyrna School. That's the 202 North DuPont Boulevard, Smyrna, Delaware. That's our south location for Delaware. All right. And that's September 15th.
September, Slovakia. That's when, what's that, the feast?
Memorial blowing the trumpets.
Yeah, September 15th. Yep.
Friday, September 15th. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. With that being said, individual, Major. Individual, Major Shabbat. Major. Rock.
Yahweh Shemi Yahweh Shabbat Katham.
Yazmatai. Stars, we turn to Major. We're going to get a sister courtesy salute. Remember Israel, Major Shabbat. Major. Rock.
Yahweh Shema Alatham Shemi Yahweh Shabbat.
Yazmatai, class dismissed.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run when you're gone, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. Once you get the job right, get another legacy.
If you gotta do the shit, when I do it carefully. You can lose everything you own over jealousy. When I met her, I ain't never sweat her, I just let her breathe. Leave you down, keep my foot on you, that's not my pedigree. At your throat, I done took an oath, I pray I never leave. I'm a different guy, you're surprised, tucked in my sleeve. Boy, you fucking stupid, soldier seat for some bloody beef. True nation, cut the conversation, better keep it brief.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run when you're gone, it's your destiny.